Hello and a very warm welcome. Thanks for tuning into News 9 Live. I'm Kabir Naqvi and you're watching the special broadcast from our studios here in the National Capital Region. The students' voices, their apprehensions and their concerns, we do not let it slide. At here, News 9 Live, we make it a point that we do not take those voices of grievances and grief, their ordeals and their plight. We do not take any of that for granted. Take a look at this one. In the latest NEET UG 2024 results, 67 applicants secured the prestigious All India Rank 1, boasting a percentile score of, to be precise, 99.997129. 67 of them. Now, concerns have surfaced regarding the evaluation process, potential leaks, and overall integrity of the examination. Many on social media have questioned the plausibility of achieving 718 or 719 marks that were given to a couple of candidates, given the exam's maximum score of 720. Now, the cutoff for this year stands at 720, 164 points higher than last year's 720, which was at about 137, less than 720. Additionally, suspicions arise as 8 toppers share identical roll number sequences and exam centers, fueling speculation of a possible leak as well. While the NTA addressed concerns by compensating applicants who lost examination time with grace marks, this explanation hasn't fully satisfied the critics, the students that have taken to the streets, especially in the coaching capital, Kota. Now, the question of whether there is a necessity for an examination minister altogether has certainly emerged from a distressing reality. Despite students' relentless dedication and sacrifice in preparing for board and competitive examinations, incidents like paper leaks threaten to dismantle their hopes and efforts overnight. The gravity of this issue has been highlighted in the extensive investigation by the Indian Express as well, which revealed that over 41 documented instances of paper leaks in the recruitment exams across 15 states over the past 5 years, impacting more than 1.4 crore students in the last 5 years alone. There have been several instances of students taking their own lives, taking the extreme step due to the issue of paper leaks. One notable case occurred in March last year, affecting over 25,000 students who took the Telangana Public Service Commission examination. Rajasthan has also been plagued by 14 instances of question paper leaks in various competitive exams from 2015 to 2023. Furthermore, Uttar Pradesh has witnessed 6 paper leak incidents, including examinations such as the Inspector's Online Recruitment Test 2017, the UPTET of 2021, and the Preliminary Eligibility Test 2021. Even higher secondary education has not been immune. SEBA, which is the Secondary Education Board of Assam, cancelled the HSLC exams in General Science and English in March 2023 due to leaked question papers, while a private college in Maharashtra also compromised the HSC Mathematics, Chemistry and Physics papers. From national level entrances like IIT and NEET to regional examinations like BPSC, millions of students suffer career setbacks due to systemic failures and, of course, negligence. Regardless of the underlying motives, be it political or financial, the toll on students remains highly significant. We're going to be joined by an esteemed set of panelists on the show with us, ladies and gentlemen, asking all these questions. Was that press conference done by the National Medical Council and supported by the NTA, was that enough to allay the fears of the students? Were they able to satisfy the queries and the grievances of the students? Will this new redressal committee that has been set up by the National Medical Council bear any fruit? 1 week of time, that's all the students have. And until then, uncertainty. Will another exam happen? Will the results be announced again? All of those questions have surfaced. But more importantly, do we need an examination ministry, an examination minister altogether? That's the big question. I'm going to be introducing the guests in just a short while. That a snippet from the press conference as well as to what happened in that NMC clarification, and our reporters on the ground, they've caught hold of the DG of the NTA as well, had a quick word with them as well. Let's quickly listen into these reactions and then we'll get the ball rolling.
ये देश की सबसे बड़ी परीक्षा है नीट परीक्षा, जिसमें 24 लाख के आसपास स्टूडेंट बैठे थे और अब ये जो परीक्षा है सवालों के घेरे में है, क्योंकि इस परीक्षा का जो रिजल्ट आया है वो सबसे ज़्यादा कंट्रोवर्सी में है। मेरे साथ में है नितिन विजय सर, जिन्होंने सबसे पहले इसकी आवाज़ उठाई थी और आप ये समझाना चाह रहे हैं। सर, ये बोर्ड पे लिखा हुआ है चीटिंग तो पक्का हुई है, क्या कहना चाह रहे हैं सर इसमें, किस तरीके से आप इसको समझाना चाह रहे हैं?
पहले एनटी ने जब 5 मई को मुद्दा उठा था कि पेपर लीक हो गया है, सब कुछ हो गया, तो एनटी ने कुछ स्पेसिफिकेशन दिए थे, वेरिफिकेशन दिए थे, उन्होंने कुछ जस्टिफिकेशन हमको भेजे थे सबको, मतलब एनटी प्रेस रिलीज के थ्रू। हमें लगा बात सही है, ऐसा हुआ होगा। पर अब जो शॉकिंग डेटा आए हैं 4 जून को रिजल्ट आने के बाद, पहली बात तो 4 जून को रिजल्ट देने की क्या जरूरत आ रही थी? उस दिन पूरे चुनाव के रिजल्ट थे, कहीं दबाने का प्रयास तो नहीं करा गया। और जो शॉकिंग डेटा है, मैं भी आपको समझाऊंगा डेटा बाय डेटा कि क्यों ऐसा लग नहीं रहा है, पक्का है हम कि वाकई चीटिंग हुई है।
आप इतने ज्यादा श्योर हैं, एक बार समझाइए।
मैं आपको समझाता हूँ। एक्चुअली आप बात को समझें कि 20,30,000 बच्चा 2023 में बैठा था, 24 लाख बच्चे के आसपास इस साल बैठा है। कोई संख्या बहुत ज्यादा तो नहीं बढ़ी है। अगर आप देखेंगे तो 17-18% के आसपास ये बच्चा बढ़ा है लगभग। अब जो बच्चे जिनको जनरल कैटेगरी, जनरल ईडब्ल्यूएस और ओबीसी के लगभग जो बच्चे होते हैं, उन बच्चों में ये जो 605 का एक आंकड़ा आप देख रहे होंगे मेरे आसपास, लगभग इसके ऊपर उनको कहीं ना कहीं कॉलेज मिल जाता है। पिछले साल ये जिनको कॉलेज मिल गया था इन कैटेगरीज में, लगभग संख्या 65,000 के आसपास थी, लगभग 65,000 के आसपास, आप ऐसा समझें ये संख्या थी। इस साल पेपर, अच्छा एक बात और मैं आपको बता दूं, पेपर लगभग पिछले साल जैसा ही था। हम तो वर्षों से ये काम कर रहे हैं, आप कहीं से भी डेटा उठा लें लगभग आपको वैसे ही दिखाई देगा। ये नंबर की संख्या इस बार देखिए कहां पहुंच गई है, 76,000 तो 605 नंबर पे ही बच्चे हैं, यानी कि ये संख्या 2,20,000 के आसपास लगभग पहुंच गई है। अब 2,20,000 बच्चे, यानी कि क्या देश में जो बच्चा लगभग एग्जामिनेशन इस साल देने वाला था, क्या वो बच्चा इसी ईयर्स में एकदम से इंटेलिजेंट पैदा हुआ था? ऐसा कैसे संभव हो सकता है? जो चीज लीनियरली बढ़नी चाहिए थी वो कैसे ऐसे बढ़ सकती है कि 4 गुना 5 गुना बच्चा एकदम से देश का इंटेलिजेंट हो गया? ये संभव नहीं है। दूसरा प्रूफ मैं आपको देता हूं, ये तो पहला प्रूफ है बिल्कुल जो आपको दिखाई देगा। दूसरा प्रूफ मैं आपको देता हूं, जब एनटीए ने लिस्ट जारी करी तो उन्होंने टॉप 100 की लिस्ट निकाली। बहुत शॉकिंग है कि 720 में से 720 इतने सारे बच्चों के आए। चलिए हम मान लेते हैं कि एक बार आ भी गए, अब आपको खुद को समझ में आ जाएगा। आप देखिएगा सर, इस रैंक से लेकर इस रैंक, ये रैंक जो आपको दिखाई दे रही है, ये वाली रैंक्स, इस वाली रैंक को अगर आप देखेंगे ध्यान से देखिएगा, सॉरी, ये 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, ये 60 यहां तक 69 तक आप देखिए, इन सबकी सीक्वेंस देखिए आप, 230,701, 230,701, 23701, 23701। इसका मतलब एक ही सेंटर, एक ही शहर के हैं, एक ही शहर के एक ही सेंटर के इतने सारे बच्चे कैसे आ सकते हैं? ये तो पॉसिबल ही नहीं है। अच्छा, इसमें एक खास बात और है, चलिए हमने मान लिया हो सकता है यहाँ के बच्चे ज्यादा पढ़ लिए हों। पहली बात, ये मैं संभव नहीं कहता हूं, पर इसके संभव होने की पॉसिबिलिटी बहुत कम है। वो 0.000001 से भी पॉसिबिलिटी उसकी बहुत कम है, ऐसा होना बहुत असंभव सी बात है। तो क्या इसका वेरिफिकेशन होना चाहिए? हाँ। एक और बात मैं आपको खास बात बताता हूं, एनटीए कहता है कि 720 में से 720 जिनके नंबर आए, यानी जिनके सेम नंबर हैं, उनमें आपके और मेरे अगर नंबर सेम हैं तो किसको ऊपर रखा जाए? इसका निर्णय एनटीए ने ऐसे ले रखा है कि अगर आपने फॉर्म जल्दी भरा था तो आपको रैंक ऊपर की दी जाएगी, और मैंने अगर बाद में भरा था तो रैंक मुझे बाद की दी जाएगी। आप देखो ये सारे बच्चे जो आए हैं, इन सबकी रैंक एक साथ आई है, यानी कि इनका फॉर्म एक साथ भरा गया है, एक साथ फॉर्म भरा गया, एक ही शहर में एक ही जगह से, और इन सबके रिजल्ट ऐसे आ गए। और हमारे पास 5 मई को पूरी खबरें थी कि भाई एनटीए में पेपर लीक हुआ है, तब हमने नहीं माना। पर अगर लायक बच्चे 65,000 से उठकर 2.25 लाख हो गए तो ये अपने आप में संशय पैदा करते। 2 मेजर प्रूफ हैं जिसकी वजह से इसमें धांधली लग रही है कि कुछ ना कुछ हुआ है।
यानी कि शुरुआत तो लीक से हुई थी, पेपर लीक से हुई थी।
जहां तक मुझे लग रहा है, पहले तो हमें नहीं लग रहा था, क्योंकि एंटी ने उस समय बोला था कि पेपर लीक हुआ है पटना में, बट वो पेपर लीक तब हुआ जब बच्चे पेपर में अंदर चले गए थे, उसके बाद किसी ने उस पेपर को बाहर कर दिया, क्योंकि उस समय एग्जामिनेशन में सारे बच्चे अंदर जा चुके थे। इसलिए अगर पेपर बाहर आ भी गया तो उन बच्चों को और उस सेंटर को रद्द कर दिया जाए, बाकी एग्जामिनेशन की कोई जरूरत नहीं है।
Well, that's the quota coach guru Nitin Vijay, who says cheating has certainly been done. Cheating certain in, quotes. That was the name of the video as well. Joining me on the broadcast is Advocate Anubha Srivastav Sahai, Educational Association. Always a pleasure to have you with us, ma'am. Also joining us on the broadcast is Saurabh Pant, Academic Director, Sri Gosalites, ladies and gentlemen. And come back and play out that little snippet of the NMC press conference as well, and then we'll get the panelists on board as to how satisfactory was the response from the PIB, from the NTA, and of course the National Medical Council.
of southern India's largest cities is facing a water crisis in Bengaluru.
Water is constantly is not coming. From past 2 months, we are not having some water also.
The citizens deserve water security at the very least.
We are going office without bath.
The acute water shortage really leading to citizens resorting to use of even private water tankers in multiple areas.
This and more. Streaming on News9 plus news is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
He turned pro in 1993 possibly.
I had a lot of pressure being Milkha Singh's son.
You got to understand the pluses and the minuses of an individual.
Progress equals to success.
World premiere on News 9 Live tonight, 9. Welcome back. You're watching News 9 Live. We're continuing with our focus on the NEET UG 2024 results row. And first and foremost, before we move any further, let's quickly listen in to the Director General of the National Testing Agency and what he had to say as per the grievances of the students. 67 applicants getting a full score. People are calling out the irregularities and saying that there was a proper paper leak in play as well. Listen in to what they had to say.
So we have analyzed all the things and transparently and then declared the result. So this problem was happened like out of 4,750 centers, it was limited to few 6 centers, and out of like 24 lakhs, it was 1,600. So the integrity, etc., of this exam throughout the country was not compromised. And one issue which was happened in Savai Madhavpur that because of wrong Hindi-English distribution, we took the action immediately, and because by that time at every center candidates were inside. So the question paper in social media was I think around 4:28, 4:29 p.m. after the start of like 2 hours, 28 minutes later. So we said that there is no paper leak, and we reconducted the exam at that center with a different question paper, and it went smoothly. And then there were allegations from some other centers that there is a possibility of paper leak. So we all again analyzed our system and denied that report through the press release on 6th of May. So the whole exam process has been very transparent, and the integrity of the exam was not compromised at all, and categorically stated in our press release. So we assure all the student community that the exam has been done with full integrity. So this is a brief of the things.
President of the India-wide Parents Association, Advocate Anubha Sahai is with us on the broadcast. Anubhaji, how are you looking at this press conference that has been done? So many questions, and I personally, went through the entire press conference myself. Several questions that were asked by the journalists later on were not completely answered, if I'm being honest with you.
Actually, this press conference was totally an eyewash. We will see they are not able to answer any of the queries which the reporters were asking, and they are only denying that there was no paper leak. If there was no paper leak, then why the arrests have been made in and Bihar? They are saying the paper was leaked after the exam, but there are instances where the police has arrested some people, and some are responding also, those who have been involved in this paper leak scam. And the paper was leaked a day before. Everyone is aware now. So why NTA is not admitting the fact? They are also not giving any justification. They are just saying that there was no paper leak, whereas the arrests have been made in Bihar and I think UP also, and some of the people are responding. That also I got to know. And students told me that even I think Calcutta High Court has given an interim stay on declaration of results. That I need to find out. I'll see what has happened.
Come again, advocate, come again. Could you say that again?
Students informed me today that the Kolkata High Court has given a partial stay as far as the results are concerned. So we need to verify whether that is true or not, because Honorable Supreme Court has not granted any kind of stay in declaration of results. They have not given any relief when students went to Supreme Court in the month of, I think, May. So that we can find out whether what is the status at Kolkata High Court. So this is total eyewash. They are not admitting the fact that there was a paper leak, and because of paper leak, suddenly this year, all of a sudden, the students have scored good marks. As far as grace marks are concerned, that is a separate issue altogether. Which they are saying there was due to time loss, they have given grace marks.
Right.
But the students from Maharashtra are also now complaining that there were instances in Maharashtra where there was a time loss. Now Maharashtra government has also now supporting students, and they are also demanding the cancellation of these results and proper investigation. We have been demanding the investigation by CBI because there are chances that maybe some internal staff or some officials from NTA might be involved in this whole scam.
All right. Those are some hefty allegations that are being put. And of course, due investigation is definitely needed. You know what, Anubaji? Because this is not the first time this has happened. People have taken the extreme step, including parents, not just students itself. Abolishing NEET is a different ballgame altogether. But right now we're looking at, the integrity of the exam. Is that being undermined or not? Saurabh Pant, Academic Director, Sri Gosalites, Vijayawada, also with us on the broadcast. Now, the words that kept on coming in the questions and the answers at this press conference was also that this is a very big exam. It goes on in one go. So there is a possibility of some sort of shortcoming as well. But integrity wasn't necessarily harmed. The DG kept on talking about a few centers, kept on saying that only 1,600 students are being affected here. But aren't those 1,600 students also important? What's your take on the press conference? And it seems like this issue is being pushed under the rug on the grace mark issue, trying to divert the attention of the people from where it actually should be going to.
Right. Thank you for having me on the panel first. And I have two big issues with what the result, what the press conference they have given. Concern number one. They have accepted that there was at 4:30 p.m. roughly, the paper got circulated on WhatsApp because some English Hindi goof off happened in Savai Madhopur, Rajasthan. Now, in the next line, they are saying that the students were already inside the center in all the remaining centers. Now, 571 centers are there. Out of that one center, students can come out. They can circulate the paper on the WhatsApp, and then they are a guarantee of remaining all the centers that no one have come out and taken those papers and showed to the remaining students. If the security is so high in all the remaining centers, how can the student, and not one, multiple students have come out of the center of Savai Madhopur. So if the student can come out, why no one can go inside in the other remaining centers as well? How like elementary logic is that? First thing is that they are not answering that. Means they are taking the responsibility that there is no integrity harmed. My concern is on what basis? They are saying they have taken care of all the papers and the OMR are matching. So if I have to do cheating, for instance, I don't have to take that paper away. And means how stupid will the cheater be at a national level that they will remove the paper from the list? Obviously, I will take a Xerox if I have to do the cheating, not because the papers are counted again and all the papers are found in the right place does not mean that the papers were not taken away at the first place in the beginning. So that's a very lame excuse they have given. Second thing is that they're saying 1,600 students are there who filed and all. Here I have the second point to make. There are many students, as ma'am has said, in Maharashtra, as well as I'm seeing in Andhra, Telangana, at least 4,000 to 5,000 students I know who are today claiming that they were given the paper 5 to 10 minutes late on an average in every center. Certain centers, there were 20-minute delay also. But they did not complain by this time, thinking that maybe nothing will happen. And maybe now they are ready to complain, because if grace marks are being awarded, then why not they should also get the grace marks? So will the portal open again for those candidates who are now claiming and their CCTV footage will also be verified? Their second problem comes in all 571 centers. You don't have equally good working CCTV cameras as well. There is a ground reality. Because you are conducting in pen and paper mode, offline mode. It's not the high-tech methods you are using in multiple centers. The conditions are so bad that the CCTV cameras are not even working properly. They are taking the responsibility without even releasing the names of the student, without releasing the time lapse of the student in each center. So now the NEET students are claiming that we also want that time loss. We also got the time loss. We also need the marks. Now the situation is the third and the major point that no one is focusing upon is that once you open the doors of grace marks, aren't you opening the doors for corruption as well? Because if you're not answerable that who is the student, which center is there, how much marks has been given, then if I am sitting in the NTA and I am having a responsibility to carry forward, let's say someone came to me and said that I want some marks. And I can easily take the money and give them those many marks on the name of the grace marks. So out of those 1563 candidates, which they are claiming, I don't know if the number is correct or not correct, but if 1563 are also there, how many are genuine? How many are having the internal setting? Because you are opening the door of corruption by creating new rules overnight.
No, you're absolutely right. Pertinent points that you've raised over there, Saurabh. We also have with us Manaswini Naidu, who's a NEET UG 2024 aspirant. She's also joining us on the broadcast. A very warm welcome to you, Manaswini. We're going to slip into a quick commercial breather over here. And on the other side, we're going to come to you, Manaswini. Understand what it is that you're going through right now at the moment. It's been a couple of days since the result came out. What is it that's happening inside your mind? Implications for your own college admissions. We'll come back to you. Do stay on with us. Ladies and gentlemen, a NEET aspirant with us. We've got the India-wide Parents Association president that's also with us, academicians, educationists. We're trying to decode whether we need an examinations ministry in the first place and what kind of reforms are we talking about. Pragmatic reforms that can actually work on the ground, not just hearsay or toothless comments. Do stick around, please.
The confidence is certainly back in the market.
Tighten your seat belt so that you can withstand volatility.
I have one humble request to all the viewers of News9 is that please don't go, there will be a lot of choppiness, there will be a lot of volatility. Look at long term, don't look at short term. Buy quality, don't buy quantity, and wish you all the very best.
हमारा टाइम आ गया है और रहेगा.
This and more. Streaming on News9 plus news is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
He turned pro in 1993 possibly.
I had a lot of pressure being Milkha Singh's son.
You got to understand the pluses and the minuses of an individual.
Progress equals to success.
World premiere on News9 Live tonight at 9. NEET UG 2024 results row. Was the NMC NTA press conference satisfactory? Joining us on the broadcast are Advocate Anubha Srivastava Sahai, educationalist and President India-wide Parents Association. Also with us is Saurabh Pant, Academic Director, Sri Gosalites from Vijayawada. But more importantly, Manaswini Naidu, NEET UG 2024 aspirant, live from Vizianagaram, Andhra Pradesh with us. A very warm welcome to you, Manaswini. How are you feeling today? Did you listen to the press conference?
Yes, sir.
All right, and what did you make of it? What was it satisfactory? The grievance redressal committee. What are some of your problems from this medium of our connected television? Would you like to tell those problems to the larger audience outside?
Yes, sir. First of all, about the press meeting, I didn't find the reasons so satisfactory because they were like skipping a lot of questions asked by the reporters and all. And First of all, when I heard about my marks and all results, mainly the ranks, when they released the ranks, I was literally was shocked because I expected like 1,600, below 2,000 or something. And then my rank came 8,062. I was like, I mean, I just can't explain it. I thought I would be placed in some aims or something, but for my rank, I don't think I get very good aims, or else I'm losing a very good seat in a very good medical college or something. Uh,
Right, that's absolutely right. We understand your concern. I mean, the future of students is certainly at stake. Could you walk us through how the examination center was like? Did you also find that there could have been some irregularities if you look back to the examination date, your particular center? Just like Saurabh Pant, on our broadcast, he's telling us that the CCTV, facilities and security checks aren't 100% in place across, all the 4,500 centers across the country. Could you throw some light on that, Manaswini?
Yes, actually, CCTVs and all at our center were fine, but the timing was they gave 10 minutes late to us, and then they gave extra 10 minutes for us to solve the paper, and then they took it like 5:30 and all. They gave sufficient time to us. Yes, sir.
So did you go face a loss of time as well? And if so, did you complain against it on the portal?
No, sir. Like I've said, 10 minutes delay. They have given us paper 10 minutes delay, but they have extended our time for 10 minutes. So sufficiently,
Okay.
I got 20 minutes only. Time is replaced with time only, sir.
Right. All right. Advocate Anubha Srivastav Sahai, I mean, you heard the UG aspirant over there. I mean, you're probably being able to, pick apart the layers of this student's problems better than they themselves are. You've been dealing with their issues for such a long time now. I mean, hearing out Manaswini's problems and concerns, is this a similar template that can be put on all the other students as well? Because everybody is, by the end of it, apprehensive about their future. And before we finally get on to the question of an examination ministry and an examination minister, the real need for that as well. Help the viewers understand what are some of the major ordeals that all the students are going through. I mean, Manaswini, look at her. She was hoping for a less than 2,000 rank and now sitting at above 8,000, not necessarily going to get a good government college as well.
Yes, I am really concerned about all these students, and they have done a lot of hard work. Lot of hard work is involved as far as NEET and JEE exams are concerned. Students are preparing since maybe 11th standard. I have seen the students going to coaching classes even in 8th, 9th standards. That we don't support, but at least students, 11th standard student, 12th standard student, they are devoting almost 2 to 3 years of their life in the for cracking these entrance exams, especially NEET and JEE. And because of these irregularities and no transparency, students are left nowhere, and their future is at stake. So, see, hardworking students will definitely going to suffer because of what all has happened because of this scam. So I am there only for those students who are working hard. Those who are doing cheating and all and using other malpractice, they are getting selected. That should not be the should not be acceptable at all. And if they are not admitting the paper leak thing and other things, see, the Manasvi has told in the news just now that there was a time delay in her center. So they were given extra time of 10 minutes. Why this was not done in other centers? Why there are no such guidelines for all the invigilators in other centers to follow the similar pattern? Why they are giving grace marks to students in other centers? Why they have not given extra time at that time itself when their children were, when the students were appearing for exam? If they can change the paper in one of the center, then why they cannot give extra time to those students whom they have given grace marks? So this is totally unacceptable. This grace mark thing should be removed. And as far as the paper leak is concerned, there should be a proper inquiry. And I am 101% sure that people from inside NTA are involved. That's why we are demanding CBI inquiry so that the hardworking students will get proper seat, they will get justice. Otherwise, every year this will happen. So this year we are very firm
A
that
CBI
every year
inquiry, that's what you're demanding right now, isn't it,
yes,
Advocate?
yes, yes, absolutely. In all this whole scam, CBI must step
All right.
in. Government must
NTA,
take this seriously. Otherwise, every year paper leak and cheating, everything is happening every year. They are just arresting people, but they are not taking any cognizance of this whole issue.
You're right,
And
you're right.
they are just
But,
releasing results.
now that we have this row at our hand, we know that there's a controversy, some hefty allegations that have been leveled as well, not just by you, many people on the internet as well, Advocate. But Saurabh Pant, before I talk to you about the solutions that are at play as well, bhai problem ho gayi. What do we do about this now? We got to look at the solutions as well and make sure that something similar does not happen again. The grievance redressal committee that has now been set up, that's the closest that we have to a solution at the moment. Are you happy with this step that has been taken by the Director General of the NTA?
No, not at all. It is something that you are providing a paracetamol for something like a cancer. Pain will go like that. Pain is much bigger than you are setting up a committee to just check for 1,500 students. I'll tell you, there were three major flaws. In short, if I say, not going in detail because Nitin Vijay sir have explained in detail in the beginning,
Right,
the coverage. I'll say the three multi-level problems are there. Number one, before the starting of the examination, setting up the paper. NTA have released the new papers, the new syllabus for the NEET examination as well as JEE Main examination. For JEE Main examination, they still followed the syllabus kind of in the month of January. But for the NEET examination, whatever was the newly added syllabus, that was given in section B. Now, section B is that there are 15 questions in section B per subject and only 10 you have to answer. So if you are a NEET aspirant and you have not prepared the newly added syllabus, which is practical chemistry, practical physics, and practical biology, then in that case, what will happen? You can leave those questions and do the remaining ones. Because of which, what have happened? You have increased the syllabus by adding one chapter. You have deleted 5-6 chapters whose weightage was 4 to 5 questions. Those 4-5 questions syllabus removed. You added 2 questions only of the new syllabus. So 3 questions were asked from the existing syllabus. Syllabus got reduced. New syllabus questions are not there, which are compulsory to answer. Because of that, the paper level got diluted in chemistry specifically, if I tell you. Second, physics level was decent, but physics the student will do at the last. Because of that, what will happen if this grace marks criteria, what they are using, if in the beginning I am doing biology, in the beginning I'm doing chemistry, in the last ending I'm doing physics, which was actually difficult, you are awarding me marks on the basis of my accuracy in biology and chemistry, which is obviously higher because of this kind of paper that you have set. So setting of the paper was of very average quality. The actually hardworking students who have completely done the syllabus, they did not get the justice with this kind of a paper. Still, the marks will increase, I accept. Obviously, 20 marks increase in the cutoff, we are not having any problem. 15 to 20 marks, every good coaching institute have predicted the cutoff will increase. Second problem that was there in the conduction of the examination, because of which another 40 marks cutoff have increased. And this is what we are asking. This transparency is required for this year. The first problem, that is the setting up of a decent paper, should be done every year from now on. You should be having a separate committee for setting up the paper and they should be accountable. How can you be having the grace marks in physics? Firstly, you are giving one answer key, then you are giving 2 answer key. As the expert of the subject, you are not able to make one question properly and you are expecting 16, 17 students to answer that question. And based upon that, they will get admission in medical college. As a physics teacher, you cannot make a decent paper, but as a student of biology, physics, and chemistry, they should be answering that question. And true and false, both for that question, they have given true also, false also, both answer.
Right.
That means a statement, if I say it can be true also, it's not philosophy, it is science for God's sake. It cannot be true and false both. And 44 students got 720 out of 720 because of that one bogus question. So setting up of the paper, for that, obviously the examination ministry or someone responsible for setting up the paper will be required. Second, conduction of the examination, there is not one problem. You are not able to take care of Savai Madhopur center where the students came out and circulated the paper on WhatsApp. So obviously some other centers might also be there out of thousands of centers where the paper would have gone inside also if they wanted. Second, in another center where you are saying that 6 centers they are saying right now, previously they said 1 center only. Because of the pressure that media have created, they finally came up with a number of 6 centers at least. So in those centers, you're not able to control your own invigilator, that they have to give extra time. Or maybe that was the intention of not giving the extra time. Maybe guidelines were clear. Maybe there was a behind background setup going on. Okay, we will give the paper late. And this all thing was probably pre-planned. And all those people who might have been involved in those activities of paying the money in the background, they might have got the inflation in the marks. Who knows? That's what I'm saying. The doors of corruption you have opened because of this stupidity done at this level. Second, third thing, when the exams are getting conducted at such a large level, the weather condition, the temperature condition, the condition of the invigilator cannot be same. So it is already not at par. So if you are doing any such changes, it should be included in the information brochure in the beginning only. You cannot announce the rules overnight because you have messed up because of the paper level. You messed up because of paper level. So many students came at the same level. Now new criteria of tiebreaker was required. Application number they have chosen. One important thing I want to say, they opened the window for the application form filling for 2 times. And in the words of NTA, I will say, due to unavoidable circumstances of certain candidates, they were not able to fill the application form. That means NTA is accepting that the circumstances of certain students were unavoidable. They were not able to fill the application form in time due to unavoidable circumstances. And now because of this tiebreaker criteria, those students who are actually having the problem in filling up the form, maybe in the rural areas due to internet problem or maybe some awareness problem or whatsoever the problem might be. Aadhaar card problem was also there. Many students' Aadhaar card were not linked with their phone number because phone numbers got changed. In our center, around 1,000 students.
We understand. Complete your thought over there.
Yeah. So the thing is, those people are getting a worse rank as compared to the remaining candidate who were nicely sitting in their house and filling the application form. So a student with a rural background.
Certainly, it's all in all the 3 points that you've leveled over here, Mr. Pant. It seems like it's not a level playing field. Needless to say, Dr. Lakshmana Kela, who's also the father of Manaswini Naidu and principal scientist in the field of agriculture, is live with us from Vizianagaram as well. The father and daughter both with us on the broadcast. A very warm welcome to you. Mr. Kela, very quickly, you've heard all the other panelists speaking here. We've heard the perils and ordeals of your daughter as well. From a parent and a parent's point of view, how troubling is this situation right now at the moment?
Very good evening to all, sir. First of all, after seeing the marks when we secured, it was as per our expectation. As per key, it was 681. We felt very happy. But in the next day, when the received whatever the rank card, we shocked really. It was 8,062. Previous years, I have checked before that what is the rank for previous years for the same marks. It is hardly some 1400 to 1700. There is a variation of 2 to 300 ranks, but not less than 1700 rank for that 681 marks. But whereas this year, unfortunately, there is a 5-fold increase in the rank. It is how if any competition increases, that may be very with this some percentage. It may be 10% or 15%. But coming to the rank, it was almost 5-fold increase in the rank compared to the previous years for the same marks. So whatever that NTA director in the press release, press note, just he is telling that there are 1,600 students who are awarded marks, grace marks like that. But I think it is some more. Definitely, it will be some more. For example, if by competition 1,600 rank come for same marks in the last year, if the competition increases, you add 1,000 ranks extra, it will be 2,600, and 1,600 students awarded grace marks also add, it will be around 4,000. But it is she got a rank of 8,062 for the marks. So it is very huge increase. I think this is not because of the increase of competition. Some whatever he tells, whatever about the ranks, 1,600 people who given grace marks like that. But as per my opinion, this is also wrong. Still more is there. Still more is there. Even within that 8,000 ranks, I think even more than 5,000 like that there may be. I hope.
Okay. That's the parents' point of view as well. Before we move any further and get down to the nitty-gritties of whether we actually need an examinations minister or not, it seems like we certainly do. I'm going to quickly go across to Manaswini Naidu, the NEET UG 2024 aspirant, who's also with us on the broadcast. Manaswini, you've heard all the panelists. We've heard your perils as well. Very quickly tell us, what is it that you're demanding right now, Manaswini, from the NTA? What kind of redressal is it that you're seeking? Is it a re-examination? Is it a re-declaration of results? Throw it to everybody that's watching the show right now.
Yes, re-examination is definitely not my opinion, because May 5th was the exam NEET, and it has been 1 month and many people would have lost, I don't think after 1 month again reneet, and they'll give a very short time for us to prepare and to revise again, and everything we can't revise in very short time, obviously. And so I don't think NEET is the solution for that. I think NTA should remove those grace marks and should do something about them. Only those people should allot them separate ranks or something. But I don't think reneet is the solution, sir. I think revising those results again and republishing them can be useful.
Okay. That's the aspirant's opinion. A reneet, not so much a clarion call for that. A republishing of the results. That's what people are looking for. All right, I'm being told Kapil Gupta, CEO, neetprep.com, is also with us on the broadcast. Very warm welcome to you, Kapil. You've been speaking to News9 live on this particular issue for a fair amount of time now, and I'm sure you caught hold of the press conference as well by Subodh Kumar Singh, the Director General of the NTA. Everybody on the panel at the moment seems to think that this was a clear eyewash. People on the YouTube chat box that I'm looking at are calling it a clear eyewash. They're saying we need a CBI inquiry into this. But Manaswini is one aspirant that says that she's not in favor of a re-NEET examination. Many people on the internet are now clearly divided on that facet as well. So my question to you is, first and foremost, how did you look at this press conference that was done, the clarification? How crucial is this grievance redressal committee going to be? And what's better, a re-NEET or a republishing of the results? How do we get through to the solution to this problem at the moment?
I think one thing which is definitely lacking in the system is credibility. I believe if someone like Narayan Murthy was on the committee, and he would stamp the fact that yes, I've it looks good. Right now, whatever committees they make, they are being tone deaf about the fact that the trust level is running very low. Whatever they are going to do is going to come out as eyewash. The second thing is, even if we look at just those 1,600 aspirants whose marks were increased based on this grace formula in 6 centers, which is what this committee is going to look at, it doesn't fundamentally change the reality of the fact that the cutoff has gone from 610 to 655, and on rank 1 there were on 720 marks there were 67 aspirants. So what does that mean? Does it mean there was a mass level leak of NEET exam? We don't know. What is the answer to that question? Probably some investigative agency needs to look at it. I remember that movie Scam 92 from Hansal Mehta, and there's this guy called K. Madhavan. He goes there and goes at it hard. Something like that probably is required because something doesn't seem right. And I'll tell you the biggest challenge that we are hearing from students is they don't believe that they are writing a credible exam. And what that would mean is the number of aspirants writing exam every year has been going up. It is going to start coming down because you start wondering whether my effort is enough or something else needs to be there. Is there some hanky-panky going on? And that is the biggest challenge. This exam cannot lose its credibility. Director General of NTA would come and go, but the exam will stay and it has to retain its credibility. It is one of the biggest exams conducted in the world. NTA's motto is excellence in examination. That excellence has to start showing up both in terms of quality of paper as well as the perceived fairness of
Mr. Gupta, you know what? I'm actually honestly quite bored with asking, reformers these questions about what kind of pragmatic reforms can we look at. Can you pinpoint 2 or 3 steps that we can actually
Absolutely.
start taking? That we can
No,
actually start taking?
absolutely. I'll tell you, Reneet, that girl was saying she doesn't want to give. I got into IIT Delhi in 1997. That was the only year when paper was out and an exam was conducted again. It was tremendously tough on me to prepare myself again in the 2 months that were given before JEE exam happened again in 1997. Having said that, if there has been a mass level leak which established, no option remains except to conduct reneet. But obviously that is not the first option, and that decision of reneet cannot be taken in a hasty manner. On the other side, the timeline is running out because the sessions would need to start. It's not as if like a scam, you can go into a 2 to 3 year investigation. But you said about practical solutions. I think an exam like this can happen in 2 steps, so that even if one step get compromised, it can be fixed in the other step. So in an ideal world, what I would do if I had the power was, I would take all of these aspirants and I would conduct for the top, let's say people above 600 marks, I would conduct a re-exam this year. If not this year, let's say this year, if it is mass level, problem happens for everyone. But from next year onwards, it should happen at 2 levels. Second thing is it should happen online. This all physical testing business should go away. And third thing in my mind, there should be a national examination ministry whose only job should be conducting exams at any point of time.
A national examination ministry. You know, I'm glad somebody finally said it, because I didn't want to, put a direction onto this debate and discourse as well. I'm glad somebody said this. I'm going to take this same question to Advocate Anubhav Srivastava, who's with us, India-wide Parents Association's president. A national examination ministry. Is it high time that we have one? I mean, integrity is one thing, but timeline, like Kapil Gupta was talking about. We saw what happened during the pandemic as well. The NEET PG, the NEET UG, the vacancies, and, all of that kept on shifting. FORDA came into play. Is it time that we need a proper ministry behind this, a national ministry behind this?
Yeah, I feel that there should be a ministry, but the only problem is that that ministry, again, if they should work properly. See, education ministry and health ministry, they are the main bodies as far as ministry, as far as NEET is concerned. So if they are not able to manage 2 ministries like health ministry and education, they're not able to manage this whole exam, NEET exam.
Fair point.
And then I doubt whether the other ministry would be able to implement that on ground level or not.
Okay.
So you can come up with a new ministry, no doubt. But the thing is, at ground level, they should be able to implement all the rules, and they're not able to conduct a proper exam they're just increasing the number of students every year. But as far as transparency is concerned, as far as the examination is concerned, they're not able to hold it properly. The ministry, we do demand ministry. If it will help, we will also join that ministry.
Or it could be a situation of too many cooks end up spoiling the broth. Saurabh Pant, academic director, Sri Gosalites, Vijayawada is with us also on the broadcast. Too many cooks spoil the broth. Is it going to be like that? Anubhav Srivastava raises a quite a pertinent point. You've got the health ministry, you've got the education ministry as well. You want to separate examinations ministry also. फिर आपस में ही खिचड़ी बन जाएगी.
That's what has gone recently in last 5-6 years as well. MCI is trying to intervene. Health ministry is trying to intervene. NTA gives one rule, next day they have to change it because health ministry has interfered. Then only syllabus change come into play. The thing is the reforms are coming. We are still in the process of creating this paper a foolproof one. We are still not in the final destination, and there is no remedy which can be overnight changing this thing. Like tomorrow onwards or next year onwards, the things are not going to change all of a sudden. But the process need to start. Someone like making the ministry will just be a step. That at least the accountability, because if you see 2-3 years back, there was no education ministry. HRD was handling everything. But then the education ministry is there. And now we can have the ministry which can be taking care of only examinations. Because not only NEET, SSC is losing its charm. Just the UPSC is left slowly. There also the parasite will go on to play. The main game is, are we ready to take a step forward towards the reform, and the process need to start. Second thing is going for the online will also have its own demerits, no doubt. I'm also in the favor of going for the online examination. This year, JEE main, this year I'm talking about. NTA, no one is talking about that for the instance of the JEE aspirants as well. A lot of problem has come due to normalization in the JEE main also this year. But because the strength was less, now what is happening? 24 lakh people are raising the voice together. Why? There was one exam where the compromise of the situation happened. When the online examination goes, these 24 lakhs people will get divided into maybe 8 sessions. So if one session get compromised, only 3 lakh or 4 lakh people will be raising the voice. This is the problem which came on 27th of Jan 2024, JEE main paper, where many students got very high marks, but their ranks came very low. But no one is talking about that because of decentralization of the student. The power of the voice will go off. So yes, online exam should be there, but I'm not in the favor of multi-session online examination. I'm in the favor of single session online examination.
Okay.
We will need a lot of resources, but it should be conducted at the same place, in the same time, of the same examination level. Otherwise, two different exams will be there. Normalization will again be a big problem.
All right. Mr. Kapil Gupta, CEO neetprep.com, also with us on the broadcast. Now you've heard, Kapilji, now you've heard Advocate Anubha Sahai. You've probably heard Dr. Pant as well over there. And Education Ministry, a Health Ministry, you spoke about a separate national ministry as well. You know what, I'm going to quickly play out some political reactions as well. Manoj Jha, Kanhaiya Kumar, I mean, the opposition is now going gung-ho over it. I'm just thinking if you get another ministry, then the issue becomes more politicized, and then political parties are trying to exact more political mileage than to actually get a solution over there. Let's quickly listen into two of these credible voices from the opposition, then we'll come back for more.
उनको बहुत बधाई, लेकिन हमारे लिए अभी सबसे बड़ी चिंता की बात यह है कि देश भर में जो नीट में धांधली हुई है और स्टूडेंट के भविष्य के साथ जो खिलवाड़ किया गया है, और लगातार चाहे पहला कार्यकाल हो, दूसरा कार्यकाल हो या तीसरा कार्यकाल हो, इस देश में नौजवानों का भविष्य खतरे में है, अंधकार में है। तो मुझे उम्मीद है कि प्रधानमंत्री जी इन चीज़ों पर जल्द से जल्द जो है त्वरित कार्रवाई करेंगे। 30 लाख से ज़्यादा पोस्ट खाली हैं, उनको भरने का काम करेंगे, और बार बार जो पेपर लीक हो रहा है, प्रश्न पत्र लीक हो रहा है, उस पर कोई ठोस कानून बनाया जाएगा, और बड़े पैमाने पे देश में जो बेरोजगारी है सबसे ज़्यादा, उस पर जो है कोई नई नीति लाई जाएगी, लोगों को रोजगार दिया जाएगा। और अभी जो तुरंत का मामला है, आपने देखा होगा कि नीट एग्ज़ाम के रिजल्ट के बाद कई स्टूडेंट्स ने आत्महत्या की है। 1 घंटे में 2 से ज़्यादा नौजवान आत्महत्या कर रहे हैं।
नहीं, देखिए, अद्भुत ये चीज़ है कि एक केंद्र पे 6 लोगों के एक जैसे मार्क्स हों, तो प्रोबेबिलिटी के भी एंगल से ये सही नहीं दिखता। और मुझे याद है कि हम में से कई लोग, हमारे डीएमके के साथी, लगातार इसके विरोध में आवाज उठाते रहे। लेकिन ये जो गुरूर था ना इनका, 1 नेशन 1 इलेक्शन, 1 नेशन 1 एग्जामिनेशन, ये जो वननेस के साथ, जबरदस्ती का वननेस के साथ, आज उसके नतीजे हम देख रहे हैं। और मैं समझता हूं कि इसकी पूरी जांच होनी चाहिए, गहन अनुसंधान।
Well, Kapil Gupta, over to you. Last couple of minutes before we wrap up this edition on the NEET row. We're not going to stop talking about this until we finally get down to the bottom of this. People are now asking for a CBI probe over there as well. But the political mileage, I mean, we're looking for another examinations minister. Won't all of that become too heavily politicized? When will students become the focal point?
No, I agree. I mean, if it becomes a situation of too many cooks in the kitchen, fair enough. Let's not have an examination ministry. But the point is, NEET exam application fee was close to 350 crores. 24 lakh aspirants, average of around 1500 rupees per aspirant. That comes out to be around 360 crores. If you start collecting all the money which is available between all the exams, NEET, JEE, UPSC, it is a substantial amount of budget that is available for a standalone ministry. You can hold them accountable from the perspective of specific things which should have happened right. I mean, if I'm an exam minister, there would be some very, very clear things which I would do. Clearly, NTA is not being able to do that right now. I don't know what the reason is. And something needs to happen. I mean, from 17 to age 25, 1 to 1.25 crore people are writing in an exam writing mode. And this cannot happen for a young country like India. The exams cannot lose their credibility. You remember Prime Minister recently said in one of his interviews कि हम लोगों ने जो मलाई वाला काम होता था वो हटा दिया, इंटरव्यूज वगैरह खत्म कर दिए. The examination, the selection is happening based on a single score. Now, when the credibility of that score is in question, it creates a problem. That whole thing about removing interviews and focusing on an objective score. When the objectivity of score in an exam like NEET goes away, it is terrible for the morale of the youth in the country.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, I'm glad that during the course of this discussion, some pertinent points have come across. We now understand what the students are demanding. We have a fair share of idea of how the educationist and the pedagogy side of this sector is reacting to it, and also the students, which are clearly divided. Some want a re-examination, some want to get the results published again. But it seems like we'll have to wait and find out for one more week when the Grievance Redressal Committee comes up with its own fair share of investigation. In the meantime, how things pan out on the internet vis-a-vis the CBI probe that is now being demanded into this NEET results row, we'll have to wait and find out as to how things pan out. Kapil Gupta, always a pleasure to have you with us on the broadcast. Advocate Anubhav Srivastava Sahai, always a pleasure speaking to you as well. Saurabh Pant, some pertinent points that you've raised over here today, and of course Maniswani Naidu. I'm not going to tell you something silly like ups and downs keep on happening in life, but do not lose hope in the fact that good sense ends up prevailing. Many thanks for all the viewers that are watching this show. Students' concerns will not be taken for granted on News 9 Live. Many thanks for watching. Lots more coming right on the other side.
When we talk about India, fortunately, the country has the highest burden of road crash fatalities.
तो लगभग 76% लोग pedestrians और two-wheeler वाले हैं जिनकी डेथ हुई है.
While the highways are getting better in India, the local roads, the city roads, the town roads, these need to be improved.
This and more. Streaming on News9 plus News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
You turned pro in 1993 possibly.
I had a lot of pressure being Milkha Singh's son.
You got to understand the pluses and the minuses of an individual.
Progress equals to success.
World premiere on News 9 Live tonight at 9.
जानना है तो देखिए, समझना है तो सुनिए, सीखना है तो पूछिए, और कमाना है तो खरीदिए। जानकारी, सलाह और निवेश सब एक ही सुपर ऐप पर। पैसे का सवाल है तो जवाब है Money9। आजादी पैसे की, अभी डाउनलोड करें।
20,000 people dead and counting. What's happening in the United States of America is unprecedented. You will have to pay